Hi everybody, Daisy here with a layout share. So these are, I believe, like January through March or something. I am so far behind on recording these, so I thought that today I would try to get caught up because my layout pile is getting a little large. So I thought I had already recorded this, so if I already posted this, I guess here's a fun little extra, but I could not find the video, so let's get started. So this first one I did for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and this was done in January. And I used the sunflower cut file, and I believe the sunflower cut file actually comes with a stem on it, and I cut it off. I used some Shimmers paints to paint both the yellow background, and then I also did a little spray, and then a bunch of Spiegelmom scrap sequins for the centers of my flowers. And this background paper is the crepe paper, now I can't remember, wild something. But anyway, just trying to use up some of my thickers that I've had that, I'm really running low on letters, words I can spell. I just love this photo though. So that was the first one. Let's see where I can set these, maybe just up here. Okay, this one was also for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and Virginia had released a class on her Etsy shop, and it's still available, all about rainbows. So we did rainbows, and this one was for February. And so I used my Hip Kit Club kit, and they had these beautiful wood veneer adhesive pieces. This is one of the cut files, and what I did is I took the inside, the inside of the rainbow, the part that comes out or whatever, the part that you wouldn't usually use because you would layer the cut file over something else. And I used my gelatos and just colored them in. On the clouds, I did some sparkly glitter glue stuff. And I just absolutely love this. And this is a picture of my daughter in her beautiful sequined dance uniform. Yeah, it's just so fun and pretty and bright. This one was for, this might be out of order a little bit, but this one was for Cardstock Warehouse, and I used one of their pearlescent papers and created little flower clusters. These are a cut file. You could easily do it with a punch. And I also used some gelatos on a few of the flowers just to make them a little bit different. Purple is one of my favorite colors, so I decided to go, heavy purple with this one. I added some gems and of course some Spiegelmom scrap sequins, and I did some gelato kind of in the background there. And just a pretty layout with flowers on it, which I really love. This one was also for Confessions of a Paper Addict and was also for February. And I used the Polaroid frames. I think there might be two different ones, or two different frame cut files in the shop, but I just selected the ones with the flowers on it. I backed them all using Rosie's Studio, I believe, and then I just added a bunch of clear stickers from Maggie Holmes and some washi tape, and then of course some more sequins on here. And yeah, this paper is from Art Walk, and I thought that it just went really well. So this one I love. This is from Spiegelmom Scraps, or this is a Spiegelmom Scraps layout. We were doing a collaboration with one of the other cut file, I think Cut to You, and so this cut file is actually from the Cut to You shop. and I cut it out using the fab foils. So the fab foils is something that was available in Spiegel Mom Scraps. This is the matte gold, and I layered it over this cut file, which I painted in rainbow colors using my Shimmers product, and I just love how shiny that is. I did some splatters around, of course added some more sequins, did this lovely photo of my dog. Just, yeah, really pretty layout. I really love this. This was for Shimmers, and I used a bunch of the different paints to create my own pattern paper to then create these little pinwheels. And I can't remember off the top of my head what colors I used, but there is a video for it. I also used some of the paint to tint the some texture paste so that I could put it in the background behind my little clusters here. I also used some paints to color these because these are very bubblegum pink thickers, and I like them, but I don't like the color, so I just painted over them, and that worked really well. I would recommend gessoing them if I was going to do it again. And oh yeah, I also used some of the dots. So Shimmers creates their own little like enamel dots, and they're like epoxy kind of instead of having any metal on them, and I really love that. They do come with some foam adhesive on them, but I usually pull it off and just lay them down flat. But yeah. This layout was also for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and it I used just a hexagon frame in the background, and it has this floral thing. So I cut it out twice, once on a purple and once on a white, and just kind of layered them up. And then I used a lot of these Pink Fresh clear florals, as well as some of the die cuts and everything. And then I just put a whole bunch of the beautiful sequins that were out for that month around, and just really, I love this photo. And it's actually a very simple layout with just layering things up. So I layered 2 cut files on top of them. I layered these clear photo or clear florals, and then just kind of added some more layers. This is probably one of my all-time favorite layouts ever. So in February, I believe it was February. Yes, in February, Virginia from Confessions of a Paper Addict created some cut files that the design team got to help choose, and they were build-a-cut files. So I did Build a Night Sky, and so she did a bunch of these like planets and comets and the spaceship and sun and a cloud and little constellations. And I used this paper, which I believe is from Chamel, and cut out some tags, put some little reinforcements on it. I cut out the cut file kind of smaller so that they would fit on my tag, and then back them all with just cardstock. I only used cardstock, no pattern paper. This is the only pattern paper to create the tags. I also used a cut file called Night Sky on the background and kind of traced these stars in both silver and gold. And oh my goodness, I'm sorry, but I just so love this layout so much. It's like all-time favorite. It's got to be way up there, my all-time favorites. And I love using black cardstock as my background, and sometimes I forget to do that. And this time it made the layout. It's perfect. This layout was also for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I used the birthday balloon cut file and created this birthday layout of my daughter at her her 11th birthday, which was in 2020, and we had cupcakes, and yeah, it was just a very nice day. I used the cut file. I just used one paper to back that, which made it super simple. And I actually used the cut file to cut the backing with my silhouette so that I didn't have to like fussy cut it out. And then I just backed everything. Super simple. I added a bunch of these Simple Stories foam pieces and then some pebbles. I can't remember, Happy Cake Day or something like that. Some of their pieces too. Sorry about my dogs. Oh my gosh, there's the cutest corgi puppy walking by, and that's what my dogs are barking at. It's the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Okay, anyhow. This next layout was for a collaboration with Cardstock Warehouse and Whimsy Stamps. Let me see if I can find it because I don't remember. It's got to be Whimsy Stamps. And anyhow, oh, I never posted this one on my Instagram. So anyway, yes, Whimsy Stamps. So I got this die, which is like a wreath with stars on it. It's really pretty. And then I also got a couple of stamps from Whimsy Stamps that had like phrases like "You shine like the brightest star," and it had all these excuse me, star clusters on it. So first I used the metallic or the mirrored cardstock in the blue, purple, pink, and silver. I also did one, this was kind of my test, out of white cardstock. And so I did put those on the corners just to use them up. But I just cut the circles kind of in half and then layered them around and then added a whole bunch of stamping in the background. And I used just my, what are they called? Distressed oxide inks. I'm sorry, I'm still distracted by my dogs. They're like running around here now. And so Distressed Oxide inks, stamped them on the background. I also used some of the stars that came out of these little die cut parts and kind of sprinkled them around as well and created my own little phrase stickers there. This background paper is from the Hip Kit Club. I believe it's one of their exclusives. So this layout was for Cardstock Warehouse. And I used a Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file. So this is the Easter egg cut file. I used the speckle tone paper, so it's kind of got this recycled look to it, and cut this out. Then I used some of the diamond cardstock and backed these florals with it. But first I colored them in using some alcohol markers that I have, the Nuvo ones, and colored all of the areas that I thought would be behind the flowers. I used this paper here, which is a new one to me. It's not new to Cardstock Warehouse, but it's called, I think, White China. And it's just this beautiful creamy color, which cream is usually not something that I gravitate towards, but this one was like very yellow, so I felt it went with this Easter layout. And then I also had all of these little florals that I had cut out using the more pastel colors that are pop tone. I did some sequins and then also some thread underneath and stitch on a couple of these little border pieces that I had cut out too. This one was using my Hip Kit Club kit, and it was for Spiegel Mom scraps. And so, it was also for a sketch, I am pretty sure. Yes, Christy was doing her 30 days of sketches in March, and so I joined along, and I Again, it's just, I really like this kind of ruffled. So I use the same paper, but then I put a little bit of foam adhesive underneath each piece so that it sticks up a little bit. It's kind of hard to see on the video, but in person you can see it. And then I just freehand cut out some letters, used some of the embellishments from the kit, and then I used the gorgeous sequins that matched perfectly with this. I also pulled out some of the gold star sequins too. And yeah, this one was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and again, it is using a sketch. So I used a couple of cut files here. This one is a paper airplane one, and it has stitching lines as well, but I just wanted the paper airplanes because I really like them. I always hoard the paper airplane like papers and stuff that we get you know, through various ways or whatever. I feel like it hasn't been like popular in the last couple of years, but it was for a little while there, and so I've hoarded them all. And I also used the star, I want to say it's like Messy Star or something like that, from Confessions of a Paper Addict, again with my Hip Kit Club. This paper is actually from my stash. It's an older one from, I can't remember, My Mind's Eye or something. There is a video for this. I think there's a video for almost all of these layouts. So I used, again, my Hip Kit. So that's where I got all the embellishments from. Some of these are Pink Brush. This is Maggie Holmes. And yeah, followed the sketch pretty closely for this one actually. This was another sketch one, and I can't remember. I think I just did this for the sketch. I don't think it was for anything else. I'm just checking my Instagram because I usually have everything posted on there, and then I can tell you when it's from, but it looks like maybe I didn't post this one, which is strange. So anyhow, it definitely was for a sketch. I used some wood grain papers that I had gotten. They are Heidi Swap. And then this paper I've actually had in my stash. I think it was like a scrap forever, so I used it. It's got little like Swiss dot, not embellishments. Holy cow. Little Swiss dot. It's not coming to me. You know, the little raised bumps. You can run it through the machine and do that. So anyway, I also used my some more Heidi Swap things, and I feel like maybe something's missing from here. But we'll just slide this over a little bit. There we go. And just did some pictures of my son here. I thought it was fun mixing these wood grains. They go really well because, again, they're from, pretty sure they're from Art Walk, and the Heidi Swap, the I can't remember, the one with all the wolves and everything. I'm sorry, my brain is like just decided, hey, I'm not going to work anymore this morning. This layout was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I think this is also for a sketch, yes. And I wanted to do a naked cut file. So I like to use naked cut files because backing cut files for me sometimes can be frustrating. So I use this floral and feather cut file, and I just left it without anything behind it. This paper is Cocoa Vanilla Studio, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking. So I didn't really want to cover it up, but I also wanted, I love this cut file too. It's so soft and pretty. So I thought this was a perfect way of using it. The sketch had this circle in the background with these rays, and so I just used some pearlescent paint so it doesn't stand out, like it's not all in your face, because I feel like Cocoa Vanilla Studio is always so subdued and pretty, and I wanted to continue with that. And so I think everything from here is Cocoa Vanilla Studio, except for obviously the cut files are Confessions of a Paper Addict, and the sequins are Spiegel Mom Scraps. This was fun. This I think was for a Product Focus Friday, so using Heidi Swap. it was also for 30 days of sketches. So I went for it and went bold and beautiful. So I fussy cut out all of these flowers out of a Heidi Swap paper. They're gorgeous flowers. There's no way I was going to use that paper as a whole paper for the background. It was a little too much for me. I used this white cardstock background and I sprayed it with some shimmer spray to give it some nice kind of shininess to it, and it really matches the hat and the sunglasses in the photo. This paper is actually from Paper House Productions and it just went really well. So I just kind of did the outline of that. I added some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins. I used this as a Heidi Swap word there, and there's these little tiny glasses that I thought went really well, and just accented with some gold pieces from the DIY shop and also Freckled Fawn. But yeah, I really like how bold and like beautiful this one is. And then that brings me to this last one, which is for shimmers. And did I use a sketch for this one? No, this is just for shimmers. So I created this beautiful background using kind of teals and greens. And I wanted to do like an Easter layout, or so I used this Easter cut file, but I didn't want to do an Easter layout because this is not an Easter picture. So I wanted to use the title Somebody Loves You, and I used this cut file, which is from Confessions of a Paper Addict. I painted each one of the flowers using different colors of shimmers. Again, there's a video for this, so if you want to know specifics, it's on there. But the background is what I love like the most. I wanted to do green because my husband's in this photo, so I didn't want to go like super girly, but also I wanted it to look like they're sitting in some grass, you know, with the flowers coming out behind them and everything. And then I used Ellie's Studio for the hearts and like these little leaves. And yeah, I just really like how that turned out. So that was everything through the end of March, I believe. Yep. So there's going to be another big layout share coming soon because obviously I haven't shared anything since January. So this is January through March, and then I have, I think, April through July that will be the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it isn't too long for you, and I hope my dogs didn't distract you too much, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.